if you start burying certain parts and just not letting yourself feel, I think it prevents you from feeling in general. But I don't know if that's true. What do you think?
If you prevent yourself
from processing this emotion, that maybe something happened with a friend and I feel betrayed, or I feel offended, I feel the trust is broken, I feel sad, but you do the typical, I feel hurt, but you do the typical male thing of like, whatever, I don't give a fuck anyway. You do that thing, right? As a way to short circuit and go to like the few tools that you know, which is I'm going to power through it, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to be really assertive, I'm going to be decisive. Like, it doesn't matter. Emotion doesn't matter to me. I'm laughing because obviously I've done this.
I'm going to go to the gym.
I'm going to go to the gym. And by short-circuiting it, you're burying it, you're suppressing it, you're pushing it aside. My view that I'm working on is I think if you keep doing that, then you start to go numb to all feeling. You start to, once you start burying one part of it, then, and you keep putting it over there, it gets harder and harder to connect with any part of it.
I think what happens is that your body is trying to give you signals about how it feels. And at some point it's like, what the hell? I've given you thousands of signals and you just ignored me, you shut me down, like it doesn't even matter. So now I'm either going to stop sending you signals, right? Because there's no point doing it. But most commonly, it's like I'm going to send signals a different way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it just shifts. It shifts into physical manifestations of how you actually feel. Right?
Yeah. So maybe you get anxious. So you got anger management issues. Maybe you have stomach cramps. Maybe you have headaches. That was mine.
But the other thing that I think happens is, you know, if you think of emotion as a bubble coming up and it's saying, look at me, listen to me, understand me. And then you're saying, I'm not going to, right? Like either you distract yourself with whatever else, right? Or you like watching shows or scrolling, or you blanket it over, right? By going to the gym or whatever, doing something that feels better for the moment, right? But then all these bubbles, instead of getting looked at and understood so they can dissipate, they just start getting shoved under the surface, shoved and shoved and shoved. And then some small thing pierces the surface, like your wife speaks to you rudely, or, you know, someone pushes past you in the MRT, and then it's like everything just comes out all at once, all the backlog of emotional things that you haven't listened to or paid attention to, right?
And now that situation with that person is bearing the full brunt of
all the years of unprocessed emotion.
I mean, I'm laughing because I think almost every guy knows exactly this. I think almost every guy knows this feeling of something, of the straw that broke the camel's back. And then suddenly you unleash on someone who just does not deserve that full extent of wrath. And then you have to like figure out how to make amends and say sorry and explain about stuff. And yeah, that's another way of looking at it. That's another reason why we should get better at sitting with our emotions, labeling them, learning to process them, learning to manage them, learning to communicate about them, because it allows you to deal with the bubble that's bubbling up so you don't just get fat with bubbles, right?
And you're not burping them up all the time.
Yeah.